I can almost guarantee something strange is going to happen while you're watching this video. At some point, without even realizing it, your mouth will open wide, your lungs will fill with air, and you'll take a deep, slow breath. You'll yawn. And no, it won't be because you're bored or tired. It will be because your brain just reacted to an idea. Yawning is one of the most common human behaviors, yet it's also one of the most misunderstood. We do it every day, sometimes dozens of times, and still most people have no idea why it happens. So let's start with the biggest myth you've probably believed your entire life. Most people are told that yawning happens because the body needs more oxygen, that when oxygen levels drop and carbon dioxide builds up, the brain forces you to yawn. Sounds logical. But science says it's wrong. In experiments, people were given extra oxygen to breathe. If the oxygen theory was true, yawning should have stopped. It didn't. Then scientists made people breathe air with higher carbon dioxide levels. If CO2 caused yawning, yawns should have increased. They didn't. So if yawning isn't about oxygen, what is it really about? The answer lies in temperature. Your brain is an organ that runs best within a very narrow temperature range. Even a small increase in heat can reduce focus, slow reaction time, and lower alertness. Think of your brain like a high-performance computer. When it overheats, it doesn't shut down immediately. It slows down. Yawning is your brain's cooling system. When you yawn, several things happen at the same time. You take in a deep breath of cooler air. Your facial muscles stretch, increasing blood flow. Warm blood is pushed away from the brain, and cooler blood flows in. All of this helps bring your brain back to its optimal temperature. In simple words, yawning is a brain reset. This explains why yawning happens most often when you're tired, bored, stressed, or switching tasks. Not because you're sleepy, but because your brain needs regulation. Now here's where things get even stranger. Yawning isn't just automatic. It's contagious. If you see someone yawn, there's a good chance you'll yawn too. Even reading or hearing about yawning can trigger it. But why? Contagious yawning is linked to empathy and social bonding. Studies show that people are more likely to yawn when they see someone they feel connected to. Friends, family, or even familiar faces. Strangers? Less likely. Animals? Sometimes. Dogs often yawn after seeing their owners yawn, but wolves, even though they yawn socially, don't catch yawns from humans as easily. Even more interesting, children under the age of 4 rarely experience contagious yawning. The same is true for individuals with certain neurological conditions that affect social processing. This suggests that contagious yawning isn't about breathing or fatigue. It's about social awareness. Your brain is subconsciously syncing with the people around you. Yawning is a silent signal that says, I'm aligned with you. Now let's talk about something you might have noticed but never questioned. Why can't you yawn on command? Try it. Go ahead. It's surprisingly hard. That's because yawning sits in a strange zone between voluntary and involuntary behavior, like blinking or breathing. You can fake it, but a real yawn comes from deep within the brainstem, an ancient part of your brain responsible for survival functions. That's also why you can't tickle yourself. When someone else tickles you, your brain can't predict their movements, so it reacts. But when you try to tickle yourself, your brain already knows what's coming. No surprise, no reaction. Yawning works in a similar way. Once you try to control it, the brain blocks it. There's another curious detail. Athletes often yawn before competitions, not because they're tired, but because their brains are preparing for intense focus. Pilots yawn before takeoff. Students yawn before exams. Musicians yawn before performances. Yawning increases alertness right when it's needed most. So next time you yawn before something important, don't fight it. Your brain is getting ready. Now let's address a darker side of yawning. Excessive yawning can sometimes be a warning sign. In rare cases, frequent uncontrollable yawning is linked to neurological conditions, migraines, or disruptions in brain temperature regulation. But for most people, yawning is completely normal and healthy. In fact, suppressing yawns may actually reduce alertness. Your body knows what it's doing. And here's a fun experiment. Try holding a cold pack to your forehead when you feel sleepy. Studies show this can reduce yawning by lowering brain temperature without sleep, which proves once again, yawning is about cooling, not boredom. Now here's the final twist. You're probably yawning right now. And if you are, it means this video worked exactly as your brain intended. Not because you're tired, not because you're bored, but because your brain recognized a pattern, processed new information, and adjusted itself. Yawning is not a weakness. It's not rudeness. It's not a lack of interest. It's intelligence in action. So be honest. How many times did you yawn during this video? Just write the number in the comments. And remember, the next time someone yawns near you, it's not contagious tiredness. It's contagious brain sinking.